We need to clear a couple things up, okay? See, the reason real MAGA knows who Marjorie Taylor Greene, Massey, Bannon, Dave Smith, Candace Owens, on and on. We know who you are, and you've never been MAGA. It's very simple. The reason we know it is because you guys think that MAGA, that true MAGA, has gone so far that we're in the liberal camp. Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind, Marjorie Taylor Greene? Or any of you people? The one thing that separates true MAGA from all of you, because you're liberals, is that although we don't want forever wars, although we don't want to just be going into one endless war after another, we certainly aren't opposed to it if it's necessary. If it's necessary and it's just. First of all, we're not going to go into a war. The way these people have jumped off the side of the ship here and have already, committed that we're in war is ridiculous, okay? But besides that, MAGA never became liberals like you, Marjorie Taylor Greene, like you, Massey, because you people are the example of what true MAGA hates. See, we don't want forever wars, but we most certainly do not want countries disrespecting us, killing our citizens, blowing up our embassies, taking Americans hostage all throughout the history of Iran, and never having a leader ever defend us. We want to be respected, and we can expect that under a real man, under a true leader. A true leader isn't looking to take us into endless wars, but he is also standing and saying, you will not disrespect this country, you will not kill our American citizens, or you will pay the price. I am sorry that the liberals don't like that. They never have liked it, because here it's very simple, and most conservative MAGA men and women know this, that the liberals don't care if Americans get killed. MAGA does. See, MAGA stands up and says, no, you better do something about this. It doesn't mean every time some American gets killed that I'm saying go to war. But we're talking about Iran. And for 50 some odd years, all we've heard is death to America. I've heard it my whole life. Okay? And we sit back and we just, let these countries demoralize us while our leaders have been wussies. And that is the part you don't understand. That is the part that separates us from you. Just because we don't want endless wars and unnecessary wars doesn't mean that we went to your liberal base and became so out of our minds that we will just want to bend over for the rest of the world to do whatever it wants to us, Marjorie Taylor Greene. So that's the reason we know who you are. Okay, because people that truly support Trump, we don't want war, but we most certainly have always wanted a leader that will stand up for American citizens, that will not tolerate the rest of the world abusing us, okay? That's what MAGA's about. It's that how you have all shown your true colors, because you're liberals. You have carried on Steve Bannon, Candace Owens gave herself away a long time ago. Steve Bannon, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tom Massey, Rand Paul, all the same actors, and you all seem to pivot at the same time. All pivot at the same time. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I just listened to this. I spent millions of my own money and traveled the entire country campaigning for President Trump. And his MAGA agenda and his promises. And Trump's MAGA agenda included these key promises: no more foreign wars, no more regime change, world peace. And this is what the people voted for. No, see, that is where you are wrong. Because you don't understand MAGA, Marjorie Taylor Greene, because you're a liberal. You are. You're a rhino. You are. She's just a female rhino. I've seen these people for years. Okay, the Democrats have done this forever. They get please, she came in the 2020 election, the most corrupt election ever. And you mean to tell me a true MAGA person would get in? No way. No way. That's why I knew she was bullshit. But see, they've all shown themselves, because MAGA has never gone into the camp where we just are fine with never having any wars. We were never that we should never have wars. It's just we shouldn't have unjust wars. We should not want to get into wars. But at the same time, we should make sure to let countries know that are building nuclear weapons for the past 50 years, and they've been called out by every leader, and then they use the negotiating tool just to stall so they can continue to build their uranium, okay? And nobody does anything. No, we cannot allow that. And this is where you people lack common sense. MAGA has common sense. Where, yes, we don't want to go to war, but we most certainly would expect a leader to handle that situation. And Trump has, and all of you liberals that have claimed to be MAGA, well, your hair's on fire now, right? I've seen this from the liberal camp forever. Only 6 months in, and we are back into foreign wars, regime change, and World War III. Talk about the liberal hysteria here. There's a ceasefire now, but Marjorie Taylor Greene, that won't serve her agenda. She even came out and is believing CNN that saying, oh, they didn't get all the nuclear weapons. So she just blows Trump off what he says. Again, showing that she's a liberal. It feels like a complete bait and switch. You do. Please, the neocon, the warmongers, military-industrial complex, contracts, and neocon TV personalities that MAGA hates and who were never Trumpers. Look, see, this is where you're getting it wrong again, too. Getting it wrong again because you're liberal. No, we don't like the neocons and the people that just want to take us into unnecessary wars. But we most certainly will stand for this country and say we will go to war if we have to. Unlike you, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who just wants us to bend over for everybody. After the bombs were dropped, we were told complete success and Iran's nuclear capabilities were totally wiped out. Then it quickly turned to Iran's nuclear facilities partially damaged, and now it's we don't know where their enriched uranium is. Let me be clear, my children are 22, 25, and 27. I will literally fight anyone for their future. And their future and their entire generation's future must be free of American last foreign wars. Shut up, please. You do not understand, MAGA. You do not know what you are talking about because you are a liberal, which means you hate America. You want American citizens to get killed, and then you want to stand by and do nothing when they get killed. We don't want your sons in our wars, okay? And we're not looking to go to war, but we're tired of being beat the hell out of by countries like Iran. Then she just goes on and on. I am fighting for them to have a future where they can afford to buy a home, afford insurance, invest for retirement, enjoy life, retain their God-given freedoms. Okay, if you want God-given freedoms, Marjorie Taylor Greene, if that's really true, then you better be able to have a country that has a leader that stands up and says no more of this. See, you have an inability to use reason here. You have an inability to think rationally here. Why? Because you're a liberal. Afford to raise a family under their Christian faith, not be in debt, and not have our own taxpayer-funded government destroy it all. Contrary to the brainwashed Democrat boomers that think and protest about a Trump is not a king, MAGA is not a cult, and I can and do have my own opinions. That's fine. But your opinions, just so we can be clear, are not MAGA opinions. They are the liberal talking points.